isn't
Get
it
in here, General.
isn't it kind of weird? Like not weird, but like it's different when you're not on stream. It's weird because there's nobody to talk to. So I bet you get to focus better. You know what I mean?
It's just as two or three people. It's not people trying to top one another. It's a real conversation.
I agree, man.
I like it.
I think it might be a little different. I like both, but like this is definitely more low key and you can focus. You can actually talk.
Well, one is talking about surface things, and here we can talk about getting under the surface. One's kind of like entertaining me, and one's trying to have a conversation that hopefully can be entertaining. I think will.
Like I said, man, it's kind of
Right.
like if you. I don't know if you listen to any of. Well, you probably have Ian Ellis's Podbean episodes, but how
Yeah.
reflective they are. I
Uh-huh.
like that. It's like he hits pause for a second and really examines shit, and I think that's cool as fuck. But he also talks
Yeah.
about like shit that's going on in the news, all kinds of bullshit.
It's okay to talk about things that have meaning, and like I said, just aren't lines to top the other guy. uh, really talking, like going beneath the surface. I really liked you were talking about maybe having a roundabout, and I was thinking like we could have a roundabout focused on certain subjects where, hey, Bella could come in and talk about comedy, or Frank could come on and talk about religion.
I love that
You know,
idea, dude. I love that idea. Yeah,
topics that the person is associated with.
and you're saying, what should we call this? Like, let's give it a name. What about show talk instead of talk show? I don't know. That's just what
So
I've got.
let's think about it and do it right.
All right.
Like I was with, yeah. Unless something comes to you and we could talk about it.
I like show talk, but
I don't, because it's not a show is kind of, you do shtick and you have all our entertainments. We're like talking, so I want the name to kind of describe what's going on.
you see what I'm saying? Maybe we'll have to ask somebody to name it for us, or throw out some names and
No, no, no,
give
we
some
don't need that.
suggestions.
No, no, we don't need that. It's just taking a little time to do it right.
Yeah, I
Do it,
guess
do it.
it's definitely a tough thing though. Because, like you said, you're gonna have that name forever. Like when Revenge of the Sith came up with that name,
Yeah, man.
they were probably like, "Oh my god, this is great,"
Yeah.
And now they're stuck with that shit.
That's why it's okay not to decide in 2 minutes.
Right.
But I come up with a name, and you could too. Let's think about it. I came with Joe Booney. It took like 10 minutes, and I came up with Good People.
Good people. I don't
Because
like that one though. Do you?
I don't like it as much once you said that. But if the show's the show is about helping people. It's going to be a family-oriented show where people.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant for this show. I see what you're saying.
No, 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 no.
I see what
Completely
you're
different.
saying. I totally get that. Yeah,
Be about helping good people, about being with good people, about talking about what do you do about bullying. So it's a completely different kind of show.
I totally
But
get that.
anyway,
Then
that's what I came up with. So let's come up with a name that kind of describes, not too fancy, that people can say easy, but really says something about what we're doing.
yeah, we'll have to think about that.
Think about it, man.
Yeah, but so do we have any topics here to throw around? I've got a few. But
Well,
if you got
uh,
something, I'd
I,
love to
I
lead
was
on
going
it.
to follow you. I mean, there's always Trump, there's morality, there's loving, but let's start. Let me let you kind of lead it. Let me
All
try
right.
to work it that way for a change.
I I like okay, if I have to reflect on like what the best decade was, like if I was this age right now, I mean, the 90s were they seemed pretty sick, right? I mean, you were in the 90s. How
I
old were you
agree.
in the 90s?
Uh, um, Let me think. 7 to 17.
Oh, okay, so you were born in 83. Okay.
Yeah,
So yeah, I mean,
36.
is it just that when you think back to a time, you think that when you were a child that was like the best time ever, or is it just because the '90s really? I don't know. The music seemed like it was just badass. Like everything, like people weren't, you know, fighting the way they are, or like politics didn't seem as like vicious and stuff like that back then either. Like it seemed like people kind of got along. I don't know. It didn't
I
seem like there
think
was that
there
many
was
shootings.
who were the presidents back there?
Well, you
I don't think people got along. I think it's one's personal experience with what was going on. Like if you're a kid, I mean, remember what play was like, and neurologically we're programmed for imagination, and everything is new and everything's exploring. As long as you have the basic things like shelter and family are being cool. So it's kind of both. You know, if you're in the depression, for example, you're not going to dig it. But the 90s seemed like a pretty good environment, and if you had a good home life, I mean, those are the best memories, kind of to me.
I'll tell you this though. I mean, I don't know what the hell kind of haircut it's called now. I guess it's called like a pompadour or something like that. But I used to think that was the gayest looking haircut. And then like I knew some people who got it, and I'm like, what the fuck kind of hairdo is that? You're shaved on the side. You got this long
Yeah.
shit you slick back, and now everybody's got it. And now I have a fucking haircut like that, and I'm like, what the fuck happened, dude? It's just funny how trends and fads just like, slide right in. At
Yeah,
fir-
I think the good haircuts were the ones that people said, "Hey, that's a good haircut."
but
You know,
at first, it's funny how something that ends up being really popular at first, is like ugh, and then oh, Ross Dog's here. What's going on, man? Hey,
boy, that
Ross.
sounds like bars, but I'd rather hear rock talk.
All right.
So
What's
how's the
up?
new job going, bro?
Pretty good.
Nice.
Mostly just sales. I don't have to do shit.
Oh, really? So, like, are you like, well, not right now, obviously, because you just started, but it's like, you're less in the field, right?
Well, they have people that are just installers. They have sales guys, and
Come on in, we could use a Negro.
And I think we'll keep the limit
he's
at 4
the
people,
Negro.
Negro.
That works.
just so everybody can, get a word in. But, we were just talking.
Listening tonight.
What's up, Sam?
Yeah, my so the box truck that we like today, we were riding in today, and there's a padlock on the back of it, to get to all the tools and everything.
Hmm.
We never unlocked the truck one time today.
Oh, really? Why? Oh, because you just
Yeah.
didn't have to get into
We
there.
just sold shit. That's it.
Well, hey, man, that's where the money's at anyway, right? Selling shit.
Yeah, so sold a filtration system, and that's like $700 right there on the check.
Dude,
At 1 hour non-work, just talking.
I just picked up 2 lakeside properties this week, and they're $50 a piece. And they're right next to each other. They're neighbors. It's like a 2 older ladies, sisters, and they only come up on the weekend, but they want it done weekly, and it takes me about an hour and a half. I'm like, shit, yeah,
Nice.
fuck yeah, dude. I wish I could get like that whole neighborhood right there. But that's what you do is you get your foot into one spot, because this is about 15 minutes from my house, so you get your foot there though, and now it's worth it to advertise out there, because then you're already out there. What the fuck's the point? It's not
You ever heard of Nexstar?
like
Like teach you
NEXTAR.
sales and shit? Yeah.
I have heard of that, but I don't know what it is.
Our company's big on that, so I'm gonna be doing training in that. But that shit like teaches you so much good sales shit. Amazing.
Yeah, dude. There's ways to manipulate people for sure.
Yeah, all these people I work with, like this guy I've been riding with, he's 10 years younger than me. His paychecks are 2,000 to 3,000 a week.
That's where I'm trying to get to. The guy I work for, he makes about, just cutting grass. We'll cut like, like I said, I do my own side work too. But when I work with him, he does 20 yards in a day, and about $50 a pop. It's $1,000
Yeah.
just in a day,
Yeah.
And then he does that 2 days a week, and then he leaves the rest of his schedule open for like grading a driveway or, other bullshit, dock work, anything that comes along. And I don't want to do that. I just want to cut grass all day. I don't want to fuck around with I don't know. I might end up wanting to get like a tractor and shit, because you can make a lot of money with a fucking tractor. It's insane. He
Yeah.
charged like $200 an hour. That's like, whew, what I want. Like he graded a road the other day and made $1,800 in a day. I was like, you fucking cocksucker, dude.
Nice. This company just borrowed $100 million to expand.
Oh, Jesus.
They're the fastest growing company in Florida, and pretty high up in America.
When I lived down there, I was thinking about getting a job. I was like, kind of. Oh, I wasn't desperate. There was work everywhere, but I wanted to get paid good, and I was thinking about going into the Everglades, and I don't know what I guess you would call it, not terraforming, but you just develop it.
Fuck Frank.
I was like, I don't know if I want to be out in the Everglades, man. That sounds sketchy as fuck.
It's just a bunch of fucking dried up land. That's all it is.
Oh, it's dried up now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not good.
The gators are like, literally when you're driving down the main highway through the Everglades, like from the west to the east coast, you just see alligators just lined up because they're fucking
Gator
they barely
Alley,
got
right?
any water. Yeah.
Is that what they called it? Yeah.
Like if you went south from here, but you could go a different way. But anyone who's down in like southwest Florida, all the way down there,
Yeah.
like as far down as Miami, you just go straight across. You just gotta put your G string on and go on South Beach.
Yeah.
I've only been through there once, and it was like it looked cool.
Yeah. I mean,
I drove there to bring a plumbing van to another employee, and then we rode back.
the fucking Dexter show is ridiculous, man. Like, give it a chance, I guess, if you ever bored.
But it was interesting that you have a real guy doing monster stuff, but you rooted for the guy. There was a certain decency and humanity, but if you really looked at what he was doing, so there was that dissonance that was kind of interesting.
Well, he was an
Bugs Bunny.
anti-hero.
But as children, it's easier to believe that stuff.
What do you guys think about Ian's new show?
Fucking hilarious.
It is funny, dude. It's like a sitcom. I don't know
That's the
how
plan.
he's done some of the shit he's done in that. It's weird. With a phone app, he's done all that. It's fucking
Is it on
fascinating.
YouTube? Where do you find it?
Oh, you haven't seen this, Sam? Here, hold on. Let me find one. Send it to you.
Joe, what do you think about the accusation that you might not be black?
I don't know. Think what you want, man. I mean, there's proof everywhere.
It's the
I mean,
proof.
I look down, I see it, I'm like, yep, that's
Wait
definitely
a
black.
minute. We have no proof.
I do.
That's
I
true.
can see it right now on my
Did you hear
skin.
the cop sirens following him?
How would he prove it
They're in
though,
the
Sam?
background.
Well, we could ask him questions like, what's
he
the
like
last
chicken or
time
watermelon?
you had Kool-Aid?
Right? Yeah. I don't think that's gonna work. He knows the answers. He could fool us.
Everybody loves chicken and watermelon. That wouldn't really prove anything.
We're gonna need a DNA sample.
I know a question to figure this out. You go to the grocery store. Can you buy a hot sub with your EBT card?
Whoops.
Oh,
Partially. It depends on the sub and how hot it is. If they cook it for you, no.
He's black. He's black.
I didn't even know what you were talking about.
He's not like your
Have people watch Opie and Anthony?
stereotypical.
Do they? I guess Patrice. Yeah.
Yeah,
You know.
that's what got me into it.
Oh,
the cult of Black
oh,
Phillip streams.
that's
We're not
right.
doing
I
those
learned that the other
anymore,
day.
by the
I'm
way.
sorry. That's right.
We're done with that.
You're not doing that?
No. How many times are we gonna fucking have CEO just be like,
Yeah,
yeah,
the
fuck
last one.
Dante, and I'm like, yeah, unsub, dislike, unsub. Like, no thanks. I gotta get
Yeah.
up for work now.
The gimmick's over. Yeah,
Yeah.
I understand.
I don't have time to hop on a stream just to sit there. Like,
I
if
don't
there's
have
nothing going on.
time to watch that either.
Exactly.
You're on here to have fun, and if you're not having fun, what's you
People
just
like
gotta check
to
out.
give Sam shit, but at least he talks.
Exactly.
He'll come up with something.
Now I get bored. If somebody is being interesting, I can listen. But I talk because if nothing's happening, why am I there, and why should the viewer watch? There's
Yeah.
no point. So I just look at it from the viewer. If it's going slow, I want to get off because I'm being bored too. So I kind of do it to entertain myself too. I want people to be funny. But just having them sit there and say, "Wow, this talk about chicken, I went there." No, man.
There you go,
I
Sam.
don't want that chicken talk.
There's Ian's new show. It's like a sitcom. I'll put it to you this way. I mean, you can watch it and everything, but it's like he's got a laugh track on it, and he makes all these like scenarios where like Mersh is fucking Royce's wife, no, I'm sorry, I made that part up. That he hasn't done that yet, has he? I fucking just
Get that
imagined
part
that
up.
apparently.
Interesting.
Mersh, we got a problem again.
What? What now?
I think our couch has run away.
What are you talking about? It's right there.
No, but
Yeah,
it's,
apparently you do.
it's funny though.
Not fucking her wife, but he's
That's off material,
staring
huh?
at her and jerking off.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he's beating his meat to
Fantasizing.
Maria.
No.
Yeah, it's funny, dude. You'd like it, Sam.
Mr. Mersh.
So is it on
Mersh.
like YouTube? That was my. Where do we find it?
Yeah, I just
YouTube
posted
or-
it in the chat.
Okay. Well, I can't tell much from looking at a man with his arms crossed, but if you say it's funny, I'm sure it is.
Is that what you're looking at right now?
You have to watch the
He's a funny
videos.
kind of guy. If he comes on the show Wednesday, I want to see if he really knows psychobiology because I know a little bit about that.
Yeah,
Did you see
Ian.
that thing I posted? There's a guy that worked with Mersh at the strip club who's been commenting on my videos,
Oh fuck! What's he
and
saying?
he said,
What's he
he
saying?
said, why is no one talking about how he got fired in one night from he slapped a disabled stripper, like slapped her tits or something, and got fired.
See, he should.
He's like, I wasn't at
should
work
talk
that
about
night, but I
that.
heard it was funny.
Like what kind of disability? Like mentally disabled?
That's what I'm wondering. How are you a
Peg
disabled
leg?
stripper? You got one leg?
No legs. She
got
doesn't
one
even have to
tit.
spread her legs. It's just always open.
She's got cross tits.
Oh fuck! She's got three
What
tits,
are-
like
what-
Total Recall.
Wait. What are cross tits?
Like a cross eye, but her tits.
Point or
Like one's pointing one way, one's pointing the other.
Like a googly tit.
okay?
She's cock tittied.
I've seen that.
Yeah, cock titty.
Yeah, I finally got a co-host who actually replies to my DMs. How strange!
Every one
that
of them.
somebody like a co-host would care about the pro.
All
Yeah,
7,000,
pretty much every
huh?
one of them. Yeah.
He says,
I'm
yeah.
putting in work. I'll tell you that much.
Good man.
It's,
Shit, what do you guys think about that shooting? Like, I mean, or shootings in general. A lot of people say it's the fucking mental health, it's the guns. I mean,
Nope.
What do you think, Ross Dog?
I have a theory, and people will think it's ridiculous because that's how the world works. They write off things just because.
yeah.
Judge it,
But
go
I'd
ahead.
like to investigate the penis sizes of these mass shooters.
I'm with you on that.
I suspect they're really small and they're very embarrassed in life.
Self-conscious
I've
about
not
it.
talked about that.
Get anyone to
Well, I don't think
realistically
that's ridiculous.
investigate that. It's not,
think-
but
I think
it's
a lot of
it's ridiculous in the
psychologists probably-
mainstream world.
A lot of psychologists would probably agree with that.
We'd have to
Freud
talk to
would.
like some girlfriends or something. His mommy.
I mean, if you have a small dick, you're gonna get angry, man. You're gonna not want to show it,
Exactly.
and people are gonna make fun of you your whole life. That's gonna fuck you. I mean, got to be probably pretty small. Somebody should do a study of the dead bodies of those shooters.
It's
And
like the
these guys
bagel
can get
guy.
into
Or live
these chat
bodies.
rooms. They can get into these chat rooms and be like, "Oh, I'm a white supremacist. I hate minorities." Like, it doesn't mean they really feel that way. People say a lot of shit they
You're
don't
right.
mean when they get into a group of people.
Yep. And we've seen this. I mean, we see it because we're on these, in the Discords, you see people like that. But it's like, what it is they know that it upsets people, in my opinion, and they're using it as a troll. It's like sometimes a lot of these guys probably don't support Trump, some of them, but they know that if they do it, it's gonna it's gonna troll people.
Yeah, exactly.
It's easy to
It's
get
an
in the fucking head.
expression of anger too. It's a really easy way to get out some anger.
Yeah, but it's just like
That-
Not the most constructive way to get out your anger, but it's one way.
I think he's talking about trolling, not shooting people, right, Sam?
Well,
I think
Yeah.
they're both an expression of anger, don't you think? One is kind of extreme.
One's
I
an
think it's,
attention.
They are
unrealistic
both based
there.
on some kind of anger. I think the small penis idea is actually probably pretty right.
It's also a little bit of delusional thinking where you're kind of thinking, all right, I'm going to shoot all these people up and die, and everyone's going to think I'm cool. And you're not really fully realizing, like, no, you're going to be dead. You're not going to come back from it and then be popular.
Did
Like,
they
you
kill
don't.
that guy?
Which one? The one in Dayton they killed?
The guy
Yeah,
who
like
was
that
shooting
one
up the
guy
Walmart?
lived.
Which they killed the other
No,
guy.
he lived. The
Yeah,
Walmart guy
too bad.
lived.
Too bad, right?
yeah, and he was
Did
like
you see
crying
the other day
in
the guy in California with the
interrogation room.
knife? Guy went around with a knife and killed 4 people.
That's that Mexican guy you were talking about.
Yeah, and he killed a security guard who had a gun. So it's like, yeah, it doesn't matter if people have guns.
You know,
there's
I-
also the matter of statistics. We have a country of 350 million people. Statistically, that's probably you have a really, really small chance. You probably have more of a chance of being killed in a car.
So should we just
automobile.
live with that idea that?
Yeah,
That's what I'm wondering. Should we
Neil
just
deGrasse
accept it?
Tyson.
Yeah,
Joe?
I think
Neil
so.
deGrasse.
Go ahead, Joe.
I
Neil deGrasse
would
Tyson just
say
got in
we don't
trouble
need AKs. Go ahead.
Sorry. Neil deGrasse Tyson just did a tweet about that, about the statistics of, so many people die, of this and that and this and that and this. And it's really the, per capita, the amount of people who die from mass shootings is so small. It's like a very
Yeah.
small problem. Even though it's a
Yeah.
horrible problem, it's something that definitely should be fixed. We really need to start fixing, the car crashes and the suicide rates and, all things like that. Things that really, really matter on a 24-hour basis or a 48-hour basis.
That doesn't get you votes.
Right.
Right, and I
Well,
think
it
people
doesn't
give him
make
shit
money
like
for the media
no-
either. They want
None of-
people to watch.
None of these politicians care about solving. They don't care about us. Like, it's just all to save face and to get votes and all that shit. They don't
I mean,
care
it's
about
I think
our
running
ideas.
for
It's the
office
fact that it's
corrupting.
it's a sensational story, so everyone's like, "Ooh, wow, ooh," rather than the 200 people who
Like,
died
in
yesterday. in a
500
car
years,
accident.
they'll still be debating abortions. This side will be for it, this side will be against it in 500 years.
Oh, I
It's never
hope
going
not.
to change, no matter how much people talk about it. It's
Well,
just not.
I think
because
it'll
it's a
probably
good
get
topic
worse.
they
I,
can do
I think there'll probably be more
besides.
abortions. Progressives run. They're going to get beaten because the Democrats and independents don't believe like that. So, if to the election, if the progressives, if Bernie or one of those, I think Trump will win. If they get the moderate, even an old man like the other guy, he has a chance.
Bernie was
You
on
just
Joe
gotta follow
Rogan.
the polls. Whoever they say is losing is winning.
What do you mean?
Like the last election, they said that night Hillary's definitely winning. Trump has no chance.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
And he won.
They said Trump has no chance the whole time.
Yep.
He just kept winning
The
every
only
day.
one who said he was going to win was Alex Jones. He's the only one.
I didn't think he
It's
was
hard.
going to win.
There's so much bias. It's hard to know. You're exactly right. How do we make a judgment? The
Well,
media
that's
is
what
going
the
to be
mainstream's doing is they're trying to paint the picture like this is the losing team. Don't pick him.
Well,
Polls aren't real.
I
at all.
honestly thought, I believed in the conspiracy of that Trump was only doing it so that Hillary would win. Like,
Well,
that's his whole thing, was to try and destroy the Republicans so that.
thought he would win.
And I'm not a diehard Trump guy, but I do think he's the only one that's not on either side.
can play the
No, that was
game.
the conspiracy during the election,
This
and I was like,
is
oh
where
shit,
we stood
this
coming
is
into
fucking
the
I don't
crazy.
think he thought he'd
268 to
win.
204,
That
so
look on
clearly an
election
advantage
night,
for
I
Secretary
think he was surprised himself. He
Donald
won.
Trump wins
Oh, I-
tonight,
oh,
no matter
definitely.
who they voted for.
Well, he was probably listening to the polls too.
I couldn't believe it when that happened. I was like, whoa, what the fuck? I was like, I hope all those dumb fuckers are wrong about him, goose stepping into the fucking White House. And they were. It's like, it just shows you how twisted the media can get. Like, because when I was, when it was all going on, I was like, he's hanging out with some dudes who are pretty sketchy, like that fucking, who was that fucking fat slob that he had appointed to an office? You guys know what I'm talking about.
One.
Yeah, I can't
Most
think of his
of them
name.
are. He's a scumbag, but it comes down to that old argument. He's a bad guy, but does he do good things? A lot of our presidents were pretty creepy, but they did good things. I think everybody understands him. But with the election, I thought Hillary would win, but I had this, I really hate Clinton, anyone but her. So I guess other people had that feeling too. She was pretty bad,
Right.
man.
It's pretty weird when a billionaire can resonate more with the people than somebody who is a lifelong, politician and supposedly there to serve the people. It's like weird that Hillary Clinton got defeated by him. By the Rust Belt, basically, was the deciding factor.
It's because more people voted this time. They took it for granted before. The left didn't. The left was out there fucking their people. They had people that were getting paid to go vote.
Young people really don't vote. But you were talking about the wealth. George Washington was the wealthiest man in America, by the way,
I didn't know that.
At the time. Yeah.
How'd he make his money?
at
Cotton?
the time,
Slaves?
through marriage.
Oh, fuck, that's the
married
best way
into
to make
money.
money. If I was
Easy.
single, I'd marry a
Married into
92-year-old
poverty.
billionaire heiress.
Well, I wouldn't want a wealthier woman, man, because she knows it too. Money is corrupting. Usually people with a lot of money know it.
She'd be 92, though, Sam, and I'd be the benefactor.
Man, you want to go to bed with a 92-year-old pussy.
Fuck yeah.
They're
For
out
the, if
there.
she's
You can
billionaire,
Okay, man, we know your price.
My mom's got that offer at least 5 times from old guys. They just didn't want to die alone.
Man, loneliness,
Marry me,
right?
I'll put you in the will.
oh, that's the
Like,
Why
how do you
not?
do it?
That's if people understand it, why not? It's like I'm not old, but I've seen old guys with young Filipino women or other. Why not, man? It's a straight out deal, right? You make me feel good, and why not? I'll give you the money. I don't want to die with a bunch of money anyway. As long as the two parties know about it, why not?
I
Hey, man,
supported
I'm-
my mom with
They usually have
prostitution.
older
She wasn't
wives
for
or
it.
no sex for 6 years, and
Well,
they're saying, "Man, your wife. What's your deal with your wife, man?" And I say, "Well, you know what? Whatever you say about me, I'm going in bed tonight with a beautiful woman. What about you, Righteous Jay?"
Tissue box. I'm rolling a spliff right now. Carry on, Sam.
I've got to go to my vape.
Okay, you're taking another
I'm
break.
gonna smoke a cigarette, you fucking assholes.
We're not
We're
live.
not the assholes. You're the one not getting high.
Oh, he can't.
I'll be
I am.
back soon.
He can't,
No, I
man.
can
He's-
soon.
He's got the job.
You're not smoking dope.
I don't
Ross,
know.
Well, I can smoke. There's no drug test. I just didn't smoke just in case because I didn't know if I was gonna do plumbing.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
that's smart. And you're making that much money, man. Hey, that's going to change your life, I would think, not having to worry about money.
Fuck yeah. Well, you have to worry
I
about it
just have
still.
to get used to basically not having any free time. It would just be working.
Mm-hmm. I hear you, dude. Hence why I'm doing
At
this
least
show.
it's a nice place. Like today, we had a meeting. I went there. They had home cooked breakfast, like just big fucking tinfoil containers of biscuits and gravy and scrambled eggs and potatoes.
Oh, wait, your job?
Yeah,
Like
and they
at the
play,
headquarters?
They play like team building, fucking office games and shit for money, and you win prizes. Like, there's no
Oh.
plumbing company that does that anywhere.
Many. You know how you get good employees? You make them happy, which is what Ross is describing, and then you want to go there. And happy people are really cool for business.
It's like the Silicon Valley version of plumbing. There's like fucking...
Well, it's, the
Bean
difference
bags.
is like You know, like there's jetting, which is basically pressure washing drains. And most plumbing companies, they know if you're going to jet out their main sewer line from a clean out, that you can do it in an hour, no problem. So they'll call you 30 minutes into it and be like, hey, are you almost done? Like, got to get you to the next one.
Right.
This company will let you stay there 7 fucking hours and put on a show and try to sell a fucking new sewer for $30,000, which you'll pull off with the
So
finance.
you're working for
Right,
smart
more
people.
than pay for the
Exactly.
time
Yeah,
that
they're
you
the
spent
smartest
there.
people in the state.
That's
You know,
awesome.
smart
From-
that put
In
value
2
on
years,
you,
they
on
went
their
from
employees.
$7 million company to $50 million in 2 years.
Yep. They are smart people. And they put value on you, so you're going to walk around and think better of yourself and do a better job. And guess what, folks? That works.
How
Put
crazy would it
pressure
be
on
if
you.
Ross goes to work and fucking it's a fan? Are you Ross dog? That'd be so fucked
I'm
up.
actually, I'm down in the
He'll put a
area
group
where
of people
Truth
around
lives.
him. He'll be
Peggy
trying to
lives.
get anal and, you know, the groups of business people, if they're
You
breaking
gotta
people
go
out,
they're
there,
actually,
they'll be like,
anal
hey,
stuff.
Truth.
They're gonna eventually be in Texas, so that might be my plan, is to run the store in Texas in a few years.
That'd be cool.
That's
Like
where
a
my
good
wife wants to
plan.
go.
Just don't go to the Alamo.
I'll give Cosmic a job.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
already
he's
working.
Show up for
secretary.
4 or 5 times, and then he'll stop showing up, and then you'll get a letter saying, "Thanks for the job. I'm not going to tell you."
Can't
why
come
I
into
quit,
work,
but I
Ross.
didn't."
Sorry.
I was on the way to work. 4 cops stopped me.
Ha ha ha.
I can't
Suck
do
my
it.
dick.
I can't do a
Then you
cosmic.
call me up, Ross, and I'll replace him. I'll show up, man.
Oh, that was funny. While CEO was getting his ribs kicked in during that whole thing, fucking Sam calls in and says, "General, I'm ready for my promotion." I was like, "Oh no, what the fuck?" I was like, he's gonna commit suicide."
That's a measure of some kind of social status. I still want that promotion. I
But
deserve it.
we gave it to Kenny.
Oh, thanks, I really appreciate all of that.
He actually
Did not,
DM'd
man.
Hey,
I'm
listen,
about
he
to resign
DM'd.
what I have. You didn't really.
He DM'd Bellin and said, "So what are my responsibilities as the CEO?" Dead serious question.
I think he did that on the show. I wish they can keep bringing their business into my show. I'm going to call it on them, man.
Who, the
You just gotta
CEO?
mute
It's
him.
a
I'm telling
problem
you.
on my show.
The only way to move forward with these shows and grow now is to have the specified cast of people on and the rest of the people muted. So if they jump on, we have to unmute them. So if we don't want to talk to them, we
I
keep them
agree.
muted.
I
Like a
agree.
radio show that works out there. No one's allowed to just hop on the
I
show and
agree.
start talking.
Well,
But
like
most of all, Ross, it's because most callers stink.
eh,
Callers, it'd be. You don't think they stink? How? Okay, name some callers that you remember. Then
I'm not saying that their performance didn't go as good as it could have. I'm just
No,
saying.
I'm saying they stink.
I'm saying
They're
that
not
if
worth
you, even
phoning.
with a
They're not
shitty
worth taking
caller,
time.
you should be able
It's
to
what you
tease
do to
something
the
out of
caller
them.
that's funny.
You can
yeah.
make it funny, right?
Most funny people
It's
are
not
already going to
them
be in
necessarily
Discord.
That's funny.
I agree. Most funny people will probably be on air. Not
But-
many.
But I don't know. You never. I mean, sometimes fucking like Joe King, you were a caller off of the Black Phillip, right?
Yeah.
So there you go.
Oh, the funniest caller is the soundboard. The funniest person is the soundboard.
Soundboard Sam. I think that's a good name for you, Sam.
Oh, right. That'll help my authenticity when people accuse me of being phony. Call myself after some kind of artificial voice. Thank you, Click.
No, Soundboard Sam. It just rolls off the tongue, though. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, cum rolls off the tongue too, but I don't want to.
Not mine.
Cum.
My sister's
He
drunk
wants
as
to hear
fuck. I
about the
was like, all
pussy.
right.
I always talk
my
like
sister's
talking about
pussy?
women. Righteous J likes probably.
I don't know.
I'm gonna
I don't
talk
know
to
as
my
much about
sister.
it.
I think I can hook her in. I can get her to
Hook
help.
her in. Hook her in when she gets
Super
drunk.
conservative and not like anything.
Show host, tell us about your sister.
Show host.
She has like a fucking
Chost.
Yeah, hey, look, I
Super.
like talking about women, and it's kind of my favorite part of my own show, really. But those pictures, I guess, get us in trouble or something.
I had a
Ostog,
thumbnail of 4 chicks wearing thongs, and YouTube took the thumbnail down.
That's lame.
Too bad.
Yeah,
That's too bad.
that's the new YouTube. It's awful.
Thongs?
You're right.
Yeah,
I had a daughter. The idea that she would get married and fuck some guy, I don't like that either. But I guess it's supposed to happen. Doesn't mean I have to like it. I'd want my daughter to. I don't know. I want grandchildren. Why do guys wear that
Disrespectful.
thong? I mean, why would they do that? I never got that part.
advertising.
It's so you don't get the
I
tan
don't know,
lines on
man.
your ass, Sam. It's so that booty's
But
nice and
I
brown.
never had the urge to go around showing other people the size of my dick through a thin material. Have you, Click?
I think that's
No.
it's a gay guy thing. I don't
Be
fucking
gay.
know.
My friend has
That's
though.
white chicks. No girls
Okay.
care about that shit.
My dad
So
used
you're-
to
No,
wear.
man, it's an ugly looking thing. Come on.
My dad used to wear a British flag Speedo at the public pool that I lived at.
Oh man.
And he's not British. I don't know why the fuck he had
Dad
that.
gay or-
When I was older, I used to poke fun. I'd be like, yo, remember when you used to wear that fucking Speedo at the pool? And he's like, well, I was ripped. And I'm like, okay. What the fuck? That's still not an
My
excuse.
dad would never have worn something like that.
He's like,
My
I was.
dad would probably shoot someone at the beach for wearing that.
Yeah. My dad was kind of like that. I'm still kind of like that. It's kind of embarrassing. Those men and those, yeah, man. I don't want to see that.
So you're with me?
People just want attention too. They're like, I'm gonna put this on. I'm gonna get all the attention. All eyes on me.
It's all about attention. Look at me. Look at me. I'm muscular
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the whole world we live in. All these people, they put stickers all over their cars with their fucking little making points and shit. Like, no one cares if you did 12.1 miles.
But see, yeah, and maybe. And,
Maybe they don't get noticed. You know, everybody wants to be noticed, right?
That's
Maybe-
probably part of the mass shooter problem. Those mass shooters with their little dicks.
Yeah.
They didn't
yeah,
get enough
yeah.
attention.
but listen, but maybe women do feel that same way about women in thongs. But I would
Not
never
as much,
mass
though.
report a video with a thumbnail of guys thong asses on.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't click
Yeah,
on it.
I don't think it's people though. I think it's just YouTube. They have people that just randomly check shit and they find
True.
it. If they find it, they fucking take it down.
Did you guys know that in like the 1700s, like people used to keep pets, like squirrels for pets in America? Well, it wasn't really America yet, but no,
I
like
think there people still do.
no, yeah, but they would keep them inside as like a regular, like a dog, like it was the most popular pet to have.
I had a roommate back in like 2004. She had a pet skunk.
That's
It was
disgusting.
badass.
I had a friend that had a pet raccoon, and he used to sell me dope. And like,
This is from the pet store.
I didn't
pet
like
skunk.
the coon.
Why?
Hmm.
Didn't you like it?
The raccoon, because it was still,
Raccoons
it wasn't
are
like,
fucking dirty.
yeah, and it
Dirty
wasn't
fucking
broken in. It
There's
was
so
like,
many here.
it was like a wild
Every
fucking
dumpster
beast.
around here at a gas station. There's just a fucking pack of them hanging out there.
They're not like cute like you see on Disney, Sam. I don't know if you've ever been up next to a
No, they're
raccoon.
not. They're like a rodent. They're like a giant fucking rodent.
Yeah, giant rat with like razor sharp teeth.
Yeah, good point. You have a point.
He's got a point,
That
right?
is that. But you know, deers can be in Disney. Deers are so cool. All these animals in Disney are like people like, and most of them are kind of gross.
Yeah,
It
if
will
you
fuck
if
you up.
I like deer.
But
Deer
that's
cool.
reality
If
as
you go
a
up
kid.
next to a deer,
you know?
it will fuck you up. Don't corner a deer.
if you look up the squirrel thing
Like,
like
kid?
as a pet, these little you'll see a bunch of these like aristocratic little boys with like these little tiny little gay gold chains on their squirrel and like on their lap. It's weird, dude. I'll post one in
Most
the
people
Discord.
have sugar gliders as pets. They're not really squirrels.
I guess people have ferrets as pets right now, so I guess it's not that crazy.
Yeah.
But
That's
Yeah,
a dumb
My
pet
mom
to
has
have.
a big lighter for
That's
one.
like, hey, I got this pet that's lost somewhere in my house.
and they stink. They're awful. If you've ever been to a house that has ferrets, it's like, ugh. You better keep
A
that shit
good
in the
pet like
garage.
that to have, I can attest, is a bunny. My fucking bunny is
Yeah.
awesome. He doesn't
Bunnies
smell.
are great.
Good old bun.
Fucking great.
I had a bunny.
Very
Dog
little
under
baby.
the fence.
Dude, I used to
I
have a
came home
neighbor.
and there was the bunny.
I used to have a neighbor
He come up-
down the road that would he grew like, I don't know what you'd say, like he raised bunnies and then he'd fucking kill them and like sell the meat. It was
Yeah,
disgusting,
a
dude.
lot of people do that.
He'd just have like a burn barrel full of fucking like, rabbit remains, like guts and shit. I was like, ugh. And there's like rabbit's feet all getting ready to be sold or whatever. I don't know what he did,
I
but
wouldn't want to do that.
he wasn't a very. If he was making money, he wasn't making much because motherfucker was living in squalor, and it was just looking back on it, it was a weird thing. Why would
Maybe
you
he
do
was
that?
like a serial murderer. That was an excuse to be cruel to animals.
Yeah,
Get a
Grew up,
second
he had
bunny
one
soon.
eye.
Most of those guts were human.
I agree, Sam.
Hey, wait. Click. The thing I want to kind of find interesting is how people grow up on these Walt Disney movies, and then they have this image that animals are kind of human-like, and they're not. And that's why when you see these articles, the woman goes in a coma, and the dog she loved eats her face,
Oh yeah,
because animals are animals, right?
it's the same
Dogs are
reason.
kinda cool, but if they get too hungry,
It's the same reason a lot maybe why girls get with these guys and they think that they can change them and it's like, oh, Beauty and the Beast, if I get with this fucking douchebag I can turn him into a prince. There you go. There's
like people with the
Yeah.
animals can turn them into human-like. So you're comparing those kind of animals with women, what they want with men.
sure.
I think you're probably right.
Look at this. Look at that little fucker. That's not what they look like when you get. I went camping one time and I heard, they're making their little like. I can't even, I can't mimic it, but I look out.
Little chittery noise.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, fuck, man. I thought it was a bear at first because I heard rustling at first. And then I heard that, and I was like, okay, it's probably a raccoon. And I look, and there was just 2 pairs of yellow eyes. And luckily, I had looked up, like, on YouTube before I'd seen raccoon attacks and shit like that. And I was like, otherwise, I would have went and tried to scare them off. But, man, if they bite you, dude, you can get rabies and all kinds of shit. It's not good.
Man, it's scary. Like you go to camp and get up in the middle of the night and go pee, and you see all those animals looking at you with those eyes.
Yeah,
Raccoons usually leave you alone though. You got to worry about them coming and fucking with your cats or dogs.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
shit,
yeah.
If you got little
Yeah.
dogs. But that's
Yeah, I saw a
one
YouTube
creature, like
video
even
where-
animal lovers, if you kill raccoons, they don't care either. Even the biggest animal lover
Yeah, who
doesn't
cares
give a
about
fuck.
raccoons? Exactly right.
I saw a YouTube video of a raccoon dragging a chihuahua out the doggy door
Mhm.
because they took it out to its friends and like they ate it.
Yeah,
Yep.
sure.
I heard about a team of midgets, like, it was like 7 of them.
It's
No, seriously, they were like a Ocean's 11, but
Florida.
it was like Ocean's 11 of midgets. And they were using the doggy doors to go into the fucking houses and steal shit.
Why not?
I'll find this article. It's crazy.
That's a great idea.
So you think about it,
Yeah,
man.
of course.
I mean, you're supposed to lock that shit, I guess, but a lot of people
How do you
don't.
lock a doggy door?
Just
They
have
got
like
a
a
little
little
latch.
slide.
Midgets. They just crawl
I
through
didn't
there.
even know that.
Be good burglars, wouldn't they? The midgets could get into houses through those doggy doors.
The big ones, you got like a fucking German Shepherd door.
Oh,
I
fuck.
think I need to take a break from vaping because take a break and you'll get higher when you come back to it, right?
Yeah, I
but only
guess.
for a limited time. You'll get right back to your tolerance quickly.
I have a theory.
I had like 6-hour
Only takes a
breaks
few days.
before.
I have a theory that you
You
can
gotta
get.
find ways to enhance it. Like drinking coffee while smoking weed is a bad thing to do.
You'll get to a certain level of high, right? Off of maybe even like 3 or 4 hits. All right, now listen. But
Right?
now the effects after that, if you keep smoking, don't really increase, but the side effects of the pot do. That's the problem with vaping, or smoking any weed. Is like you'll be like, okay, now I'm high, and then you'll keep smoking to get higher or maintain that high. But
Yeah.
you don't. You just
Yeah.
kind of stay there. But then like you get really sleepy, or you get really fucking whatever. Usually it's just sleepy, but that's what
That's
happens to
probably
me.
the best thing I'll get from this show tonight. So your point is that once you get high, because I keep vaping, I probably shouldn't do that, right?
Just smaller hits, dude. And then like probably 2 hits, and then wait a half hour, 45 minutes, then hit it again. That's what I do.
Thank you, Click.
Cause dude, you can get so high off that vape, you'll fucking pass the fuck out, no doubt.
Not me.
I'd like to try to
Oh
find out.
man, I got some good dabs, bro.
I challenge anyone to a smoke off. I guarantee I could smoke anybody under the table. Anybody
I
on the
would bet
planet.
against that.
Okay, at
I
night,
have no limit.
at night I would, yeah. But like if you do it like, if you got some shit to do and you do that shit, oh fuck, dude. If you do like 10 rips, like hard rips, dude, you're gonna be fried, dude.
Glass of cum.
What's dangerous about it? You just pass
You're
out,
dangerous,
right?
Sam.
Yeah, I'm real dangerous with words, right? I do go a little brutal sometimes, but you know, you don't like to battle, and maybe that's why you're so well liked, Click.
I don't know if I'm well liked. I've
Oh,
been
why would anyone say anything bad about
I've been
you? I'm
called
being
boring.
serious.
I've been called
Everybody's boring sometimes. You're not especially boring.
yeah, I don't think I am either. It's just
You're not a. I tell you, like there's other people I'll say are boring, like Bellin. He's
Oh,
a creative guy, but
easy.
he's not the most interesting guy on air. So I'll tell you,
oh Belland. Don't let
there's a
all
lot
right.
of boring people on.
Belland is yes, but maybe that I could understand you maybe thinking that. But Belland does he's very creative and he uses
Oh, I
humor
agree.
in his
That's what I
creativity.
said. No, he's very creative and well organized. He seems like a good guy, but he's just too normal on air.
No, I just think he's a little nervous or anxious. And that happens.
Why can't you say that some people are better and funny and not as boring, and some people are just more boring on air? You're not boring.
I bet.
He'd probably be splitting my sides with a hammer or something. Me
With
and
his
him
cock.
kind of. He doesn't. With his cock.
Yeah.
Righteous J with me then, and
Oh
take
fuck.
it away from me. But Don is. I think Don. I like Don, but I think he's like goes for control or something. He's a businessman. He likes to be in control, and the trouble on the show was when I was trying to take over the show. He didn't seem to like that. I think it would have been funny, right? What a great pod. Here's this quirky little kind of semi-intellectual guy trying to take over Don's show. What's Don going to do? Instead, he just hung up. The pod comes first.
Yeah,
Would've
but
made
Don's a
better
strong
show.
man. Don's a strong man. He likes to run the show, and I will say Don does a fine job for a 43-year-old Italian guy who owns like 10 businesses, and you know he does a good job. He does a good show. I can't hate on him.
A compliment.
You know, if he
Write
was
that
like,
one down. Right for you.
well, listen, he's running. He's obviously a family man. He's dealing with his family. He's got 46 streams to watch. He's got the business.
No, he probably is a family man, but how do we really know that?
Well, we know that.
How do you know that? Have you seen him? Have you been in his house? Have you heard his kids?
What are you
He
saying?
hasn't
He's
worked on-
fabricated this whole dox of himself.
Hey,
That's
I'm
some.
not saying that. He's not smart enough to do that. I'm saying that he wants to come across as this eternal anus, or he calls himself optimist. He's a complex guy. He's not this happy-go-lucky dude he wants people to see. That's all I'm saying. You talk about authenticity.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
told
Maybe
Don,
not.
well,
Maybe not.
here, you know, listen, one more thing. It takes a strong man to give authority away. Look at show host. I want to give him a lot of stuff because he's capable. Don doesn't want to do that.
What do you mean? Don doesn't want to give that to who? You or just anybody? Or
Don wants to appear to be in control, right? So I'm a talented person. He doesn't want my ideas because he wants to be the one. I'm saying it takes a strong man to accept others' ideas, to say, you know, let's have Click come in, and I could do Dylan, but he does it a lot better. I want
hey,
Click.
I'm not doing that shit. Fuck that.
No, I haven't been able to get you to.
Hey.
Mad because you would have been great. You're the one who lost in the audience. You doing a hard day's rain, you don't tell me you're going to do it fucking great, but you can't make a person. It's a compliment that I want you to. Oh, I'm going to punish him. I'm not going to do it.
Wait, Sam.
You give joy to people.
All right, we're talking
That's
about
the best.
authenticity. Are you drinking right now?
Broken again with this alcohol. Hey, I say I'm a stoner, but people want to make it alcohol. I don't get it.
No. What
You
the
mean-
recent rumor is that you were on Ambien.
That's an interesting thing. Look, it comes
not a
back.
rumor.
Well, I'll tell you, he brought it up. It comes back to people. Sometimes if they say something, other people believe it. They don't say, wow, that sounds kind of ridiculous to me. They don't say. So these manipulative people like Ian, they'll put it out there, and some people will believe it. Man, first of all, I don't take Ambien until I want to go to bed.
Oh.
You know, it's like 10 o'clock here. If I did, I'd tell you, I take Ambien like once every 3 days. And even so, let's say I take it all the time. So fucking what?
What if you stay up on it? Isn't that what it is? Is if you take it and then you stay up on it, then that like makes you loopy or something like that? I don't know. I don't deal with Ambien. I don't know.
Actually, it's a hypnotic drug.
Oh, okay.
I took it 3 times once. What it does is it lowers your defense mechanisms, like hypnotism. So that's why people are very suggestible on Ambien. But I think I take 5 megs. The regular dose is 10. But if I did it, that'd be interesting for pot. If I was an addict, I'm an addict to the dreams. Well, it's neurotic because I should be exercising and seeing people but no. So yeah, I mean,
Mark Lista was on a treadmill every time he was on stream. So I mean, it can be done.
No, he wasn't. You could hear his car door.
Yeah, sometimes you could hear his car door dinging. It's like ding, ding. I accused him of working in a warehouse before I knew what he did.
I think he was delivering pizza.
Because maybe I kept hearing that fucking like it sounded like a high-low, and I'm like, yeah. I know what he does. He's a guy in the warehouse, and he has like that Chicago accent.
Oh, you mean? Wait a minute, man. What do you mean? Does he put things in a warehouse? Does he sell product? What does he do?
Oh, like he was operating a high-low. It sounded like a forklift.
Oh, that's kind of a lower level. I mean, he comes off as kind of like a big authority and college educated, and now I find out that he did that. It's kind of different from what I thought. Right?
No, he did what? He doesn't.
I thought he was like I thought he sold pharmaceuticals.
He does. He probably does. He knows.
Probably. See there again. You don't know.
No, that's why I said probably.
Homosexual people go, oh no way. Why not, man?
It doesn't mean he doesn't have a forklift carrying those pharmaceuticals around.
Yeah, exactly.
Always with the argument, man. Come on now. I'm an expert. Because Click told me, but the truth is, how do we know? How do we know that that I'm not black? How do we know that Ross Dog does anal? These could be anal fantasies.
The way I look at it is, I'm not trying to prove it to anyone. You can believe it or not. Doesn't bother me.
Okay, that's a really good response.
People under the age of, I would say, 25 worry about stuff like that.
Well, in preparing for this anal sex discussion, the Times did an article saying that anal sex is really the next big thing for people under 40.
40 is the new 20.
Anal sex thing. So I'm not.
As time goes on, people become less prudish.
Yeah, just that first time, I'm sure, right? Just getting over that.
It's America. You go to Europe or Russia, they've been doing anal for fucking decades.
The Greeks were big fans of it. Am I right, Sam?
I was going to mention, Jay, about the Africa.
Yeah, they used to do baguette.
A method of sex. They use it as a method of not having children. Probably a lot of people do, but I just read an article that talked about Africa.
Alexander the Great was a big butthole fucker. That's a known.
You know that? Oh, he was a homosexual, right? That's what history tells us. Huh?
Yeah. But a lot of people were back then. Yeah. Exactly. A lot of people were bisexual back then. Men were.
They were pedophiles too, right?
Right.
Yes, they were.
Sex with 13-year-old boys and stuff like that.
They still are in Afghanistan. There's a doc called The Dancing Boys of Afghanistan.
Makes me sick.
These little boys are trained to dance a certain way so that one of the guys will buy them. And then he'll have a home.
That one.
It's an issue because the U.S. military see all this pedophilia, and it's really part of the culture, like Ross is talking about, and they want to get after these pedos, but politically, socially.
Sergeant Smith, when in Rome, right?
Maybe that pedophilia, because it's so prevalent in history and all around the world, maybe we're the weird ones for hating it.
No.
No. What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't think so either. But I just wanted to.
That's a
put
good
that
sound
out.
clip, though. Thank you.
I think anything the majority of
That's
the
great.
world likes is not good.
Cho, would you mind if I release that as a isolated clip later this week?
Please
So
do.
I don't think,
Okay.
if that was true, I don't think
As long as
nature
you
would
put,
design
you think
children
maybe.
the way they are. They are definitely not designed for
Holy
that kind of
shit.
activity. So it's wrong.
No,
just
I don't think any adult sees a kid and goes, "Wow, I'm attracted to that." I think it's just another issue.
Some do.
It's
Some
one
are
of those
sick.
things that have been
They
going
can't
on for
handle
ages, and they just-
being with someone real. Like you imagine if you're, it might be the same thing as the little dick mass shooters, where
Control.
they're embarrassed to being around an adult
Oh.
and have them maybe comment on their dick or something like that. A little kid's not going to say shit.
They're
Little kid's
inadequate and
You're
won't
not going to
shout.
pull your dick out to molest a
Right.
10-year-old kid, and he's going to point at it and laugh. Look at your little dick.
That could happen
Ain't
too, though.
happening.
And that would be even
No,
more
they're in
embarrassing.
control,
Imagine that.
you know.
Then it's time to
They're
hang
inadequate.
yourself.
That'd be one cool kid right there. You ain't gonna molest me, nigga.
Go ahead. What are you going to do with that
It has
thing?
become a weird term lately.